this a powerhouse, and you may not be far from the truth. Seated in the heart of Victoria Island, Lagos, is the corporate headquarters of Choice International Group, makers of Gree air conditioners, Lontor, and GAC motors. The building also houses the office of the Belt Road Initiative, which is a global infrastructure development strategy adopted by the Chinese government in 2013 to invest in nearly 70 countries and international organizations. In 2018, Nigeria became a signatory to the initiative. The base of the China-Africa Business Council is also here. Established in 2006 through the Chinese Ministry of Civil Affairs, the China-Africa Business Council, CABC, seeks to be a platform that connects China and Africa to maximize opportunities of Africa's development and bring inherent benefits to Africans.
Yeah, this is the gift item for
Standing at the helm of affairs of this conglomerate and activities is Chief Diana Chen. She works from here as the chairman of Choice International Group and vice chairman and representative of the Chinese government for the China-Africa Business Council. After a tour of the showroom, I sit to have a chat with Chief Chen, as she prefers to be called, on her stay so far in Nigeria and how she's carried on with so many responsibilities to emerge the Auto Chief Executive Officer for the year 2021. We begin the conversation with her experience living and working in Nigeria for 7 years now.
7 years is not a long time, and also it's not a short time. As what we always say, 7 years is a very regular cycle to measure a lot of knife. Especially when the people measure a knife of marriage, they use 7 years as one cycle. So 7 years also for a business is also a good cycle to measure the first step we're going through. With regard, this first 7 years is our first and successful explore to Africa. That means we, thank God, we come here at the year, in the year 2014. And now 2021, we can say we are successful to establish in Africa, in Nigeria. So to get this title as a CEO of Automobile of the Year, definitely it gives a lot of encouragement and honor to all our staff and our company to bring more well recognized to the group. So most of the people, they know me as the Chief Diana Chen, that's the chairman, CEO of the CIG Motors, who run and introduced GSC Motors successful in Nigeria. And of course, with the support of all those different governments, whether from federal or whether from the state government, we get a lot of support from them. So GSC Motor now is a joint venture company between CIG Motor and Lagos State government. Our world-class assembly plant will establish, start to make the production in the year 2022.
You'll be producing your cars here?
We already start to produce, but the world-class and the new JV big factory between Lagos State government and CIG Motor will start from 2022.
Tell us how you are involving Nigerians, you know, in the building of your vehicles in Nigeria.
For automobile industry in the world now, the technical point is not any difficulty for the Chinese manufacturers. We can say with the advantage of Chinese production and the technical supporting system, automobile manufacturer, it is a very good advantage when we compare with those European and also Japanese. So introduce the full set of the production line to Nigeria. It is not a difficult technical transformation. It is for us, it's a very easy job.
You're the chairman of Choice International Group. You have 3 major products: Lonto, GAC Motors, and Gree Air Conditioners. Tell us more about these products.
Choice International Group start to do the investment in Africa, especially in Nigeria in the year 2014. We're the owner of the Lonta, this brand. Lonta is already more than 15 years history in Africa, especially in Nigeria. We are the #1 household all these rechargeable products. And we get a very good reputation from our consumer. In the year 2014, when we start to do the investment in Africa, we introduced and bring GAC Motor into Africa. GAC Motor is a state-owned company. It's a Guangzhou automobile company. So it's the first Chinese automobile brand we introduced to Africa. When we introduced this brand into Africa, the people also, they think about Panasonic, they think about Daikin, they think about LG, and the other Chinese brand or AC. It's okay, but not so strong. But when we told them, no, Gree, it is very strong quality, and more importantly, it is #1 position in the world.
Tell us from your experience, like you said, it's a circle. 7 years is one circle. In this single circle that you've been operating in Nigeria, how would you describe the investment climate, that helps you to operate here?
When we say Africa, Nigeria need more attention to provide good business environment to those investors. Then you need to have better industrialization facility available, and the government policy are always guideful and needed in any time when the investor need. But what I see in Africa, especially in Nigeria, there's some major factor still exist there. It stopped more investor to continue to do a better investment job. For example, the power sector. If the power supply become one of the major challenges, it's already affect the industrialization.
So if we had like infrastructure, like you said, the road, the power, you think the opportunities that we see here will be explored more? Not just by, foreign investors, by local investors?
Yes, infrastructure project, infrastructure investment, definitely when we see all over the world, it must come in majority from the government side. Yeah, the government can use this domestic resources to build it or to get some financial support and technical support from overseas. But it's the essential and must to do it first. So infrastructure, that's the basis of basis.
Tell us about the council. You are the vice chairman.
So it is very high international and China's political leaders agreement when they think about how to promote and help Africa to have a better industrialization growth. So that's the council established by that initiative. At the same time, because China, every 3 years we had the FORCA. There's a forum of China Africa Cooperation. So this council are one of the major arms to carry all the policy or statement what have been made during this FORCA. For example, this year is also a FORCA years, which the summit and the forum just finished in 29th of November.
A lot of Nigerians who are watching this program would be anxious to know or eager to know how they can benefit, some of these things you have listed from the council.
A council, it is a platform to welcome any business people, whether from China, they have interest in Africa, or African business people who have interest in China. So it's a platform to welcome those people. And secondly, then because there are so many policy initiatives from the central government of China. So how to build it into the project implement? It needs this council to do a better policy introduction seminar, policy introduction review, and also the members should work together to create some small project to meet that big target. For example, when if you read through the new statement of this forecast, 1 or 2 points, I think you can understand very easily that in the next 3 years, China government will encourage and support to do the African Film Festival in China.
A special survey conducted by the China-Africa Business Council shows that nearly 100 key private enterprises from June to July found the proportion of reinvestment in Africa. It stood at about 30%. Now, I'd like to know, what are those areas or those sectors that interest the council most when it comes to Nigerian private enterprises?
For example, the healthcare sector, education, and e-commerce, infrastructure work, and manufacturers. Yeah. So all these sectors are all can be interested by both chambers of commerce members' interest.
And then we see that the reinvestment stood at about 30%. What would, from your perspective, China, the council, what would they like to see more in Nigerian businesses so that it will attract more investment and reinvestment?
Because the big population in Nigeria, so the consumption market there, if the country remained stable and also the economy, especially the finance sector, not so much disturbed by international factor, that this investment and reinvestment will definitely grow significant.
The Belt and Road Initiative that started in 2018, where are we now?
When you see a lot of projects like the railway station and the railway between Lagos to Ibadan, Abuja to Kano, all this railway station and also the airport construction, even the Lekki DC port, all those projects supported by Chinese government are all under this Belt and Road Initiative.
What else are we expecting from the Belt and Road Initiative?
This is a forecast. I always keep telling that this forecast for us, all this announcement, they just made announcement, is also under this Belt and Road Initiative. You just think about it is a new global strategy enter from China's side. Because when we see about the globalization, that kind of concept are introduced and start from the Western countries. And also they are using the WTO organization to carry most of the trade transaction across the world. And also use the financial instrument, for example, SWIFT, and also the other international trade means. They are the modern of globalization. Only that when presidency come to the power, then he think maybe there's another way from China can contribute to the world, that there's some harmonious way to unite all this world again. Because after this WTO, over 100 years, there's some challenge and conflicts between the country and country. So many things are not so much harmonious. So China believe there is other wisdom we can introduce. That's we are calling this Belt and Road Initiative. It's not a demanding, it is an offer of support.
A lot of trade goes on between Nigeria and China. For 2020 alone, the United Nations noted that Nigeria export to China was about $1.77 billion, while Nigeria import from China was $15.95 billion. And I think this is the basis on which the currency swap agreement was, built on. Where can we say we are when we're talking about the currency swap agreement?
The currency swap policy, it is, I think it's also a very strategic solution Chinese government provide to the other country. Just now we mentioned in this year forecast, the Chinese government just made announcement that in the next 3 years, with this 10 e-commerce platform building, Chinese government target to import 300 billion USD dollar products from Africa to China. So you can see, just now you mentioned now it's 1 billion something, right? In 3 years, we target 300 billion. So it's a very significant increase and growth if we take this opportunity. And this currency swap is also to avoid the USD dollars depreciation with the other countries' currencies, because that's already bring a lot of challenges across the world.
But is this agreement, is it making impact? I think it's about 3 years now.
Whether it's an impact or not impact, it is another thing. As I always talk to the CBN friend, I say we should use most of the media to introduce more on this swap policy, so that the Niger business people and Niger government know how to, engage on it. But as a normal people, right? What you can see that during this 2-year pandemic, the project supported by Chinese government still are able to continue on it. But you need to wonder how many the foreign investors, they already stopped their investment in the last 2 years. But China's projects are still able to survive here because most of them are financed by the IMB.
There are a number of agreements signed and cultural exchanges, and displays taking place between Nigeria and China. Talking about infusion or collaboration when it comes to culture, what's the interest of China in that area?
The interest is that because China is a country with rich history. We have over 3,000 years old history and culture. That's why, as a government, as a Chinese individual, we are always be confident and be rich in our mind, in our heart, that our culture are building ourselves. The same thing when we talk about the globalization, we see, there's an imbalance in the world between the Western country and the East country. And now also the imbalance between the north part of the world and the south part of the world. Especially this called the south part of the world, most of the countries are undeveloped countries. So those undeveloped countries will need more and more partnership. How to build those undeveloped countries? In our Chinese wisdom and philosophy, think that we need to help those countries to build the confidence first. So only with the confidence and help them to fight down their culture, they will help them to go long term. I believe that's the culture exchange purpose and benefit. China wants to become a leader in international. Of course, we need to also show our culture to the world. If we are introducing Africa movie or film festival in China, that there's a lot of opportunity that more Chinese people to understand and appreciate the creative industry, the way of their creative mindsets. Yeah, that a lot of things will start to change.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show and for sharing your memories and your experience with us here on Business Morning. We really appreciate you, Chief Diana Chen. And we wish the council a whole lot of success, because the success of the council obviously means success of a lot of businesses in Nigeria, and that's good news for the country. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
You're welcome.